Hello boys and girls, it's me again. Guess what I did today? I worked for 8 hours, but there you go. Some of us have the ability to work, hold down a job and then come and do a video, and some of us need money paid by other people and then do a couple of videos. It's quite striking how that one works, isn't it? God, it's amazing, isn't it? Anyway, I watched last night a video of someone I've never met in my life, unlike Lloyd, who I have actually met, and it was of Mike Brooks in somewhere in America, wherever he lives, no idea, New Mexico, whatever. And it was really it was disheartening to watch him, because you could see he was sort of the end of just feeling broken. Certainly his wife certainly looked broken in the last video that she did, and it's just awful. I can understand how they feel. They feel this way because when you're a witness, when you're a Jehovah's Witness or any cult, I suppose, you do feel that things are unfair, because as you know, if you witness, you can't you're not supposed to put yourself first. So bang goes further education, or working on any skills that you have, or any natural ability that you have, and job prospects, education, so forth, university, and you're told to put it all in the service of Jehovah because it's a life-saving work, and you lose so many prospects that you'll never ever occur in your life. And then you have to listen to superfine apostles, aka the elders, dictating to you what you should and shouldn't do, what you should like as a person, despite the fact that it's only their personal viewpoint. But they put it in a way in saying, I am the mouthpiece of God, because it was God who's put me into this position. So you always feel a sense of injustice. Then when you leave the witnesses, that sense of injustice grows greater, because of course when you do leave them, all of a sudden you'll find out that all those friends that you had for 20 odd years no longer will speak to you. Even though myself, that I wasn't disfellowshipped or disassociated, I was put in the same position, whereupon, you know, all of a sudden the friends that I'd known for 20 years literally felt uncomfortable being in your presence or talking to you, because you'd rejected their faith, which made you a sort of an enemy of God and an enemy of them. And even when you have relatives who are still in the witnesses like I did, it's always the blinking elephant in the room. And it takes years to then start all over again, trying to find new friends and just start this life all over again. And it's something that even years later is a struggle to deal with, when you think of the people that you no longer have any relationship with, even though you were like so close at some point. And then you come out the witnesses, and then all of a sudden there's this guy who seems to have elbowed out all the opposition, and you find out that he then standing up as somebody who's going to bring down the watchtower. And then you find this guy and you see his content and you think, yeah, I think this is possible, only to find out that he is not just as bad as the witnesses, but he is as worse, because he uses the same techniques as the witnesses do, who the governing body and all the elders and everybody else, uses the same techniques by basically conning people into belief that he's involved in a life-saving work, and thinking he's the go-to person when it comes to trying to bring down the watchtower, and help and affirming that you're doing the right thing, and giving you information that you think you then can use to help your friends and relatives come out the witnesses. When he's not, when he's an absolute fake and fraud, when he is just a YouTube evangelist who basically has set up his own cult following to enable him to do things that we would all love to do. Go travel around the world, meet lots of different people, engage in lots of social events that we'd like to do, but we don't have time to do or can't afford to do. Apart from the bit of, the extra sexual marital relations with prostitutes. I don't think many of us want to do that. And yet he's able to do that. And the only thing he does to earn that money is to put up a video every couple of days. Whereupon I think I've put 3 videos up in 4 days, and I don't ask a penny for anybody to give, not ask a penny for anybody to fund my lifestyle, my earnings, extra earnings at all. And all I'm doing is just giving my views. Mikey said last night that what he does, he speaks from the heart, and it's unscripted. And that's what I do as well. I literally don't know what I'm going to say next. It is unscripted, and I do speak from the heart. I've just got a thread of what's in my head that I want to say. When you look at any of his videos, it's carefully manipulated. I think obviously he puts a lot of it in, and then they go back and go, I didn't look so convincing in that bit. I'll retake that bit, or we'll use that segment. And that's why there's so many breaks in every Lloyd Evans video. He just fine-hones it. He does more edits and cuts than Peter Jackson did in Lord of the Rings. Probably Evans has done more cuts in one of his videos than Peter Jackson did in the whole trilogy. It's quite incredible how many different cuts. If you watch, obviously he's standing here next, and guess what? He's over here, and the next bit he's over here. You can see that it's cuts, but all of a sudden he went, let's go back and let's do that bit again. Whereupon I just do mine and say how it is. Now, for those who have not watched a lot of my videos, I took a break for 6 months because I thought the job had been done. When you actually Googled the name Lloyd Evans, there was lots of other things that came up apart from just Lloyd Evans. And when you went into YouTube and put in Lloyd Evans, a lot of videos came up, including my own. So in other words, it's quite a fair assessment where if you wanted to, you could then get all the the Lloyd Evans, censored bullshit on his channel, and then you get other people putting other videos where they'd give the other side of the story, the other side of the coin. But sadly, the past 6 months, it's flipped. There is no other side of the Lloyd Evans story. Yes, we all know, if you want to, where we can find different threads relating to him. But if you are just coming out to the Jehovah's Witnesses, or you're still in them and you're looking for somebody to affirm that you are making the right move, that it is not the truth, and then somebody mentions Lloyd Evans, or you search it and he becomes the main man, there's nothing now when you go into YouTube, apart from maybe I put in Lloyd Evans in the YouTube search bar, and one of my latest videos came up, and a plethora of his. And if you Google Lloyd Evans, a load of stuff comes up. And you have to go 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page, 5 page. There's nothing comes up that leads to any other thread relating to the Lloyd Evans sex scandal. There is nothing. You don't get to the Jehovah'sWitness.com. It's been a long 9 years. Lloyd Evans. None of the Reddit stuff. None of the other stuff that we see appearing recently. There is absolutely nothing. And this is the problem. So basically, the last 6 months, because I wanted to take a break, because I thought this guy will never recover, and it was dropping down. I hadn't thought about the fact that within the last 6 months, a lot of people are leaving Jehovah's Witnesses, and sadly, they are finding him, and they're literally moving, as Mikey said last night, from one cult to another cult. They're looking for somebody to make them feel that they are doing the right thing, their new Lloyd and Saviour, as I've said several times. And if you haven't heard this story before, I'll tell you it again, because this really hits the nail on the head. When I went down to meet Lloyd several years ago, when I think he only had about maybe 30,000 YouTube subscribers, might have been 30 or 40, I can't mind. And I went down to meet him in a part of Manchester where he was meeting some members from his old congregation, and he just said, anybody else want to come along? And there was literally 20 of us there in this long table in this curry house in this part of Manchester. And I wanted to go down and meet him. And when I was sort of me, another guy, and Lloyd, and obviously he was the centre of the attention. And then he was talking, he had this sort of talking to the lot of us. And he then brought up that somebody had suggested to him why doesn't he form his own cult? And he said, yeah, I was thinking about it, I could easily do that. And it's ironic, because that's exactly what's happened. And at the time, I've said this before, I thought it was a bit off when he said that, even joking about doing it. But needless to say, it's happened. Because when the shit show hit down with the Lloyd Evans sex scandal in relation to prostitution, especially the trip to Thailand, all of a sudden everybody distanced themselves from him. All these people who worked with him fled, leaving just him and T-Ball, who wasn't even a witness and doesn't understand the complexity of what the moral issue, what's going on here. And then the next thing is all the patrons started dropping off, and it was brilliant to see, and I just thought, right, this needs to go down, and finally he'll just fade away to nothing. And then all of a sudden you found that Lloyd had a lot of Manson girls who had just come onto my channel, this girl called Kitty Cat and a lot of other people. Just, I don't know what they do. Maybe they've got a Lloyd-shaped vibrator. I don't know what it is. Obviously, maybe he's got his face on it. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it was staggering to see. And these people coming to my channel on Twitter, and it was just like, oh my God. This guy has got his own Manson girls. And it was great to see the numbers dropping and dropping and dropping, and everybody else in different forums were enjoying the fact that he'd certainly had diminished. However, that has now changed. The fact that now he was able to do the Things Are Bad video, 3 days later things are better, and about 9 hours ago he did a tweet saying the numbers have increased, shows that unfortunately he has got a whole new squad of Lloydites, Cedarites, or the Lloyd Davidians. He's got a whole new squad of new disciples who sadly, I believe, don't know anything about the Lloyd Evans sex scandal. Because none of those videos that we all did 6 months ago, 7, 8, 9, well, a year ago I should say, over a year ago now, are coming up on the search engines. So as a result, and even looking at the comments, it's obvious they are unaware of what is behind this whole thing about him talking about this defamatory campaign, when we all know it wasn't a campaign. It was just me and especially 11 other people were vocal about what happened, and then were served with letters from whoever his Novacell was in Croatia, extorting money from us, and an apology, and to remove all our content. Recently somebody had put on my videos, and also they mentioned on the Capitan's video yesterday, why do you hate this guy so much? What's he ever done to you? And Capitan was quite straight away replies on the wee video that he did. Well, the guy tried to bring legal action against him and me and extort money out of us. So when somebody said to me, you're back on the Lloyd wheel again, this guy called Bent Steele, he says, you're back on the revolving hamster wheel of Lloyd Evans. The fact is, I got off that wheel because I thought, I'll never go back on this again. However, like I said, those videos recently absolutely disturbed me, and they enraged me. They enraged me, the fact that he's still able to pull this off and knows at a drop of a hat he can say to his new disciples, pay me more money so I don't have to do a decent day's work because I'm involved in this life-saving work, and these people genuinely think he is and do not realise what this campaign was about. So all I can say to everybody out there, for those who have the power to do this, we need to put more out there in social media, because clearly it's not coming up in search engines for YouTube or Google. It's all positive Lloyd Evans stuff, which the disciples are buying into, his new disciples are buying into, his new cult followers. And we need to put more. So if you've never done anything before, please, put up YouTube videos. You don't have to reveal your face, your name. Lots don't. I've no mind. I've not a problem doing this. Please put up more stuff. We've got to swamp social media And I think it has to be done on a regular basis, because I'm just thinking about all those poor sods who are getting conned yet again. They were conned by the witnesses. They're conned yet again another person who makes out he's involved in life-saving work, and he's not. He's taking them for absolute fools. And he took me for a fool, many other people as well, until Kim blew open the lid on what sort of man he really was. And I wish I'd known this early from other people, had seen, seen what he was like. And it needs to be done. So for those of you out there who have the ability to do YouTube videos, please do them. If you have the ability to somehow increase any suggestions how more threads or what have you can go to the forefront in Google searches, please do this. I'm not calling this a defamation campaign. I call this a truth campaign. Let's make the truth stand out on Lloyd Evans. It's not a defamation campaign. Let's have a campaign where we can reveal the real Lloyd Evans, to expose him again for what he was. So hopefully the new disciples, if they just go to YouTube and put in his name because maybe they've forgotten the subscribers, or new people coming on board who put his name in the search engine YouTube, that all of a sudden they're not just going to get his little bleached face and all his squad of videos and other stuff, but they'll have a whole lot underneath referring to the truth about Lloyd Evans. So I'm leaving that with everybody out there. This needs to be done, because this is having a serious detrimental effect on the XJW community, and also we want to make sure that no other people become a new disciple of Evans and allow him to carry on doing what he's doing, because it is horrible. Anyway, I'll leave that with you. I'm going to do more videos, and yeah, I just feel I have to. I just want all the people to do what needs to be done. See you later. Bye bye.